I really enjoy doing stuff with my hands. It's a pleasure. Not quite a sexual one, but it's up there. It's a private thing. They like to be at home. Of course, when you meet people initially, you don't really know them very well. Who do you shake hands with? Who do you give a hug? I think that does set a tone for the experience. I take my stuff out, my scissors and the cape and whatever I have to use, plug in my stuff, and we chit chat. And then it's always a question, so what do you want? You know, how do you want to look? It's incredible to me sometimes what people burst out saying.
Oh my god, so that fuckhate.com?
You look like a wolf.
Not on the belly, in the uterus.
In the uterus? Either you farted or your mom is having her hair done. I mean, I've had people crying, I've had people telling stories, and like, wait, I'm thinking, why is he or she telling me this? We all have this urge to tell our secrets to someone.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the intimacy.
It's true. She likes men and then...
When you touch people's scalp, when you touch their hair, the only one really does that is your lover or your mother. I am from Copenhagen, Denmark. I cut hair as a freelancer here in New York City.
Toys R Us, you want to go inside?
In Denmark, it's a fairly respectable profession to cut hair. A lot of people hate the experience of going to a salon, sitting and looking at yourself in the mirror with wet hair, not looking pretty. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello,
Hi.
hello.
Oh.
I changed my blouse already.
Okay, okay, okay. You know the procedure.
Make me look beautiful.
What does make a rose look pretty? I get in a different zone when I cut hair because I focus differently. But I don't get some kind of spiritual connection. Very often when I have clients, I don't just cut their hair.
Oh, you know what I made the other day?
Nope.
For breakfast?
I like to help out with things. Oh, æbleskew. Is this the one I gave you?
Uh-huh.
Whoa, that looks good.
Doesn't it?
Oh, I have the same thing at home. I gotta make some of those. I haven't made that in years. A lot of my clients have become very dear friends. Next week I'm going with a client to IKEA. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Or actually Tuesday, because she can't
Good night,
quite
good night.
carry the heavy load. But I'll love to go with her. Same to you. There's a couple of long ones here. You look like your sister? Or does your sister look like you? This one smells like baby. I love that smell. Thursday or Friday next week. That's Thanksgiving. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Oh, you want to come here?
I said yes to 3 things already, and it's not good.
About 3 cuts ago, you had it.
I don't like to hear those things. The 2 other times you lost it.
Do you want to make one for me?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Make me beautiful.
I want to do something else.
Why don't you get?
I want to read my book.
Why don't you get out some drawing stuff? You know, a little resistance, but it's like after you've been in school for all day and after school. Right. But you're pretty good about it. Good.
What is that one? What do you say around what?
Rhombus. I need help with rhombus.
You begin with the first one, which is called a rhomboid.
Nope, a rhombus.
Oh, a rhombus.
Rhomboid is something you get in your ass.
Ew. That's a bad word.
I know. Only adults are allowed to say that. And since I'm an adult, I'll say it all the time.
So look for the shape of a rhombus.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How would I know what a rhombus is? When do you use that after second grade?
The point is you said rhomboids. It's a little like acting when you walk into a house. I mean, sometimes I tend to use a little bit too much profanity in my speaking. And sometimes I really have to curve myself, saying, okay, I better not say shit or fuck too many times in this sentence because this person might be offended. I wonder if this is any good. It doesn't smell very nice.
So
It looks like water.
Nice store-bought.
Really bad selection, I guess. There you go. Put your daughter to sleep. Or to bed. Don't put it to sleep. Just put it to bed. You want a little paper towel? That was not nice. I meant put to bed. This is probably as close to home as I'm ever going to get. My real family, I'm stuck with. I'm happy to be stuck with them. I love them a lot. But I grew up in a fairly broken home. My mom was 15. Guess she was out partying, having a good time, and had a boyfriend that was in a band. And before you knew it, she was pregnant and had me when she was 16. Needless to say, I wasn't a planned child. But they were boyfriend, girlfriends until I was 6 months old. And then I don't really know what happened, but he kind of disappeared. I mean, you can't blame a 17-year-old for much, but my mom was stuck with me, of course. When I was 16, I moved out. I had a stepdad I didn't get along with. I remember hating weekends because that meant we all had to be in the house at the same time. He never really hit the kids, us kids. He always hit my mom. I mean, the guy is really a psychopath and should be really locked away. I mean, he shouldn't be among human beings. I mean, he's an animal. I hated being home. I always hated him. If I have more than a couple of hours in between clients, I usually go home. Sometimes take a nap. Now midlife, you know, I'm 45, and it's the time where you wake up sweaty at night. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm gonna die soon. My heart was beginning to hurt. I started having like almost faint spells, and you totally dismiss it until it was so bad that I went to the hospital. It was very, very scary. It was the first time in my life I thought, if this is something with my heart, I could really be dead tomorrow. I was 2 or 3 weeks away from a major heart attack that would have either killed me or made me paralyzed. And I thought a lot about my family. Just realized, you know what, life is really short. And it made me kind of think a lot more about death. And I wonder if my real father is actually still alive, if he has the same thing. My mom sent me this book, and there's a picture of my father in the book. But the fun part was my mom said, guess who your dad is? And it was the last guy I picked that actually was my biological father. I'm not all of a sudden looking for like some big emotional revelation when I finally meet my father. It's like, oh, daddy. But I think it would be interesting to meet him. Dads in my life has really not been any particularly good thing. I do think different about life. I find it more precious than I did before, for sure. But I can't say I have this big revelation of, now I need to travel around the world and beat up the people I don't like and be nicer to the ones I do like. I mean, I don't think I have any of that. My subconscious obviously is telling me, I think, a lot of stuff, such as get your act together, do this, this, and this, but I'm not really listening.